I slapped my married ex on my front porch. Then his pregnant wife found out he'd been lying to everyone. 6 months after my ex ditched me for a wife his parents picked, he showed up at my apartment acting like I was still his side piece. I slapped him so hard the sound echoed down the hallway. Then I sent the screenshots to his pregnant wife. I was with Evan for almost 3 years, which is apparently the perfect amount of time to waste on a man who already had an exit plan. He sold me the full package at first. Smart, soft-spoken, the kind of guy who made you feel like you were the only person in the room. We built routines, inside jokes, half-finished future plans. I never met his family. There was always an excuse. Timing. Cultural stuff. Work stress. A rotating buffet of reasons I swallowed, because love makes you stupid. Then his parents came to visit for real. Overnight the man I loved turned cold. Started fights over old nonsense. Suddenly me missing one dinner meant I was unreliable. Me focusing on my career meant I wasn't wife material. Me not magically fitting into their perfect daughter-in-law fantasy meant I was too American, too independent, too everything except convenient. A few weeks later he hit me with a coward breakup. Vague garbage about different paths and family responsibility. The polished fake deep language people use when they want to stab you with a dissertation instead of a knife. Then I found out through mutual friends, while I was still thinking we had a future, his parents had shown up with photos of potential brides. He'd been auditioning replacements the whole time. That was the real breakup. Not the words, the reveal. I blocked him everywhere, deleted what I could, went to work, took kickboxing classes, tried to punch the heartbreak out of my body one round at a time. 6 months later my friend Nina told me he'd gotten married. Just like that, speedran a full wedding with a woman from his parents' hometown. I thought that was the end of it. Then one Thursday night around 8, somebody knocked on my apartment door. I opened it without checking. Stupid. There he was, Evan, standing on my porch in a button-down like he was about to pitch me a startup instead of emotional terrorism. He started talking fast, said he made a mistake, said his parents pressured him, said he never wanted the marriage, said his wife didn't understand him the way I did, which is an incredible sentence to say while actively being somebody else's husband. I told him to leave. He didn't. He reached for my hand. I pulled back. Then this married, lying, spineless idiot actually leaned in like he was about to kiss me. So I slapped him. Hard. Not a cute movie slap. The kind that resets your ancestors. The sound cracked through the hallway like a gunshot. My roommate came up the stairs right then and saw the whole thing. She got between us and started yelling that she was calling the cops if he didn't get off our floor right now. That finally made him back up. But before he left he pointed at me and hit me with, "This isn't over." After that the text started. First pathetic, then manipulative, then angry. He sent paragraphs about fate and timing, and how I was the only real thing in his life. Then when I didn't answer, it turned into blame. I was cold. I was cruel. I was ruining his chance to fix things. That's when I stopped feeling heartbroken and started feeling unsafe. And once that happened, I kept thinking about his wife. Her name was Mira. She looked sweet in the wedding photos. The kind of face where the optimism is still intact because nobody's torn through it yet. I stared at the message box for an hour before I sent anything. Then I told her the truth. Who I was, how long we dated, how it ended, that he showed up at my apartment, that he tried to kiss me, that he'd been blowing up my phone ever since. I sent screenshots, and my roommate had recorded part of the hallway meltdown after hearing the slap, so I sent that too. For 3 days, nothing. Then Mira replied. At first she thought I was lying. Ryan had already planted the seed that his crazy ex might try to sabotage the marriage. The screenshots were one thing, the video was another. Then she told me something that made my stomach drop. She was pregnant. She'd found out days earlier and had planned to surprise him. Instead she got a front row seat to the fact that her husband was speedrunning betrayal like it was an achievement. Evan completely lost his mind when he found out I told her. The text turned nasty, then threatening. I blocked his number. He emailed. I blocked those. Then he showed up at my job and started yelling in the middle of an open workspace, calling me jealous, saying I ruined his life, acting like I had personally forced him to lie to his wife, his parents, and apparently half the women he ever dated. Security dragged him out. Coworkers heard everything. I filed a police report that same day. Mira told her parents everything. Then Ryan's parents found out too. Not his curated version, the real one. Turns out they were awful during the original breakup, but even they didn't know their son was out here collecting ex-girlfriends like backup save files. His wife left him. His in-laws backed her. His own parents backed her too once the evidence hit. A few women from his company came forward with their own complaints about creepy comments and aggressive behavior, and that was the beginning of the professional funeral. He lost his job, then his reputation, then his marriage, then whatever fake image he'd been juggling in public. Mira moved back home before the baby came. We still talk sometimes, which is the weirdest part of this whole nightmare. The woman I should have hated ended up being one of the only people who truly understood what he did. We weren't rivals. We were just two women he thought he could lie to in different languages. As for me, I changed apartments, kept the kickboxing, got meaner about my boundaries and softer with myself. The last message I ever got from him was an email from some new account saying, "I hope one day you understand why I did what I did." I stared at that line for a long time. Then I deleted it, because I do understand. He did it because he thought love meant access, because he thought women were chapters he could reopen whenever he got lonely, because he thought regret could wash betrayal clean. It can't, and that's the part men like him never learn until they're standing alone in the wreckage, wondering why nobody came back to save them.